Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we are going to take a deep look at the shocking development that millions of Israelis are fleeing as Iran-backed Houthis strike Tel Aviv, and how this is shaping the course of the Iran-Israel war. This is not just a headline, it is one of the most dramatic turning points in the conflict, and its consequences go far beyond the battlefield. So in this explanation, we will go layer by layer to understand what is happening on the exterior, what the interior looks like, how the performance of both sides is being judged, what safety features are in place, what the unique selling points of this situation are, what the price of it all looks like, and how we can bring it together in a conclusion that shows the magnitude of this event, and why it matters for the Middle East and the entire world on the exterior level. The picture that is visible everyone is one of chaos, fear, and rapid movement. The strike by Iran-backed Houthi forces on Tel Aviv has created scenes of panic that the outside world rarely sees in Israel. Millions of people rushing to flee the city and surrounding areas is a staggering image. The highways are jammed with cars, families carrying their belongings, airports are flooded with people desperately trying to leave, and train stations are overcrowded, shelters are full to capacity, and there is a visible sense of disorder on the streets. Tel Aviv has always been a symbol of modernity, business, and culture for Israel, but now it is shown to the world as a city under direct siege. The exterior is not just physical, it is psychological, because when the world sees images of Israelis abandoning their own capital, it sends a message that Iran and its proxies have succeeded in striking fear into the heart of the nation. And that exterior appearance matters as much as the actual destruction caused by the missiles and drones inside. On the interior, the situation is just as tense, but it takes on a different form. The Israeli government and military leadership are holding emergency sessions around the clock. Their command centers are alive with activity, screens filled with tracking data, intercepted missiles, and incoming threats. The prime minister and top defense officials are under extreme pressure to reassure the population, while also making strategic decisions that could shape the future of the conflict. For ordinary citizens, the interior means life inside bomb shelters, homes with windows taped, children trying to sleep through the sounds of sirens, and families huddled together wondering what comes next. The social fabric of Israel is under stress as the population tries to remain calm, but the truth is the interior reflects a society that is being stretched beyond its limb. Its short moments of normalcy vanish the second sirens go off, and every household now carries the weight of uncertainty as the war has moved from distant front lines into their living rooms. Looking at performance, this conflict is now a showcase of how different players operate under immense stress. The Houthis have demonstrated performance that far exceeded expectations. Analysts used to see them as a localized force tied down in Yemen, but their ability to project power across such long distances and hit Tel Aviv is proof of their technological growth, made possible by Iranian backing. Their missiles, drones, and tactics show that Iran's proxy strategy is not only surviving, but thriving. Israel's performance is mixed. On one hand, the Iron Dome and Arrow defense systems have stopped many incoming projectiles, saving countless lives and proving their worth. On the other hand, the very fact that millions are fleeing shows that the psychological impact of the few successful strikes has outweighed the many interceptions. Performance is not just about technology, it is about resilience, and Israel's resilience is being tested in ways not seen for decades as its citizens question whether the defenses can truly protect them against an expanding ring of enemies. Safety features have always been a cornerstone of Israeli defense. Doctrine shelters, sirens, early warning systems, and missile defense batteries scattered across the country are designed to give people a fighting chance against incoming threats. But this wave of Houthi attacks exposes how stretched those safety features can become when the scale is overwhelming. The Iron Dome has limited capacity and cannot intercept everything at once. The Arrow system is advanced, but even it faces challenges when swarms of drones and cruise missiles are launched simultaneously. Shelters offer protection, but they are crowded, uncomfortable, and in many cases not accessible to everyone's safety features are functioning, but the volume and persistence of attacks make it clear that they are not foolproof. Civilians are realizing that no matter how advanced technology becomes, there is always the risk that something will get through, and that realization is fueling the decision of many to flee Tel Aviv altogether now. When we consider unique selling points of this moment in history, there are several that stand out. One is the fact that the Houthis, who were once considered a distant and almost irrelevant force in the context of Israel, have now become frontline actors. This is not Hezbollah in Lebanon or Hamas in Gaza. This is a group based in Yemen, hundreds of miles away, showing they can still reach deep into Israel with Iranian support. This changes the entire map of the conflict and expands the number of fronts Israel must prepare to defend. Another unique point is the unprecedented scale of civilian flight. Never before in Israel's history have millions left the capital in such a short time. The symbolic blow is as important as the military one, because it sends the message that Israel's stronghold is vulnerable, and its people do not feel safe even in the center of the country. It also marks a shift in proxy warfare by Iran, using multiple groups across multiple regions to exert pressure from all sides. The price of this conflict is already immense and growing rapidly for Israel. The financial burden of intercepting missiles, deploying military forces, keeping emergency systems active, and dealing with the economic slowdown caused by mass displacement is in the billions every day. That this continues adds to the strained businesses in Tel Aviv. Our shuttered tourism has collapsed, and productivity is grinding to a halt for Iran. And the Houthis, the price is calculated differently. They measure cost in terms of sustaining supply lines, smuggling weapons, and enduring retaliatory strikes by Israel, and possibly its allies. Yet to them, the price is worth paying. If it weakens Israel's position in the Middle East for ordinary civilians, the price is measured in fear, trauma, and loss. Israeli families torn apart from their homes, Yemeni families living under bombardment as Israel retaliates, and a region filled with uncertainty about the future. The true cost of war is not only financial, it is human, and that is being paid every day on both sides. When we bring this all to a conclusion, what we see is that the Houthi strike on Tel Aviv is more than just a military action. It is a turning point in the Iran-Israel conflict. It proves that Iran's proxy network is larger, more capable, and more emboldened than many believed. It also proves that Israel, despite its unmatched technology and defensive systems, is vulnerable to psychological and strategic warfare. Millions fleeing Tel Aviv is not just about safety. It is about the perception that safety can no longer be guaranteed, and that perception could reshape Israeli politics, military strategy, and even global diplomacy moving forward. The world is watching as this conflict escalates, because it is no longer confined to one region or one front. It is a battle that could redraw alliances, shift balances of power, and set the stage for a wider Middle Eastern war. The conclusion is that what began as a strike has now become a symbol of the fragility of even the strongest defenses, a symbol of the reach of Iran's influence, and a symbol of how quickly war can turn from distant news into personal reality for millions of people. This is the situation in full depth, and as it unfolds, we are witnessing history being written in real time with consequences that will resonate far beyond Tel Aviv, Iran, or the Houthis. It is a reminder that in modern warfare, the exterior images the interior pressures, the performance of militaries, the safety features in place, the unique aspects that stand out, the price paid by nations and people, and the ultimate conclusion are all pieces of a single story that continues to grow heavier with each passing day.